Alrighty, so we're heading back to the losers bracket. This is losers round 2. Scaphism, who was knocked out of the tournament by Mia. Mia then progressed into round 3 to face Rainy. Rainy knocking Mia then down into the losers bracket. So, right now, again, round 2 of losers bracket. Scaphism, who was our champion of the last tournament. We'll see how he can do. And in the bottom right, we have kerocero, who is randoming between the two Terran factions, as we've seen so far, getting raiders. In the bottom, or in the upper left, we have Scaphism, who chose between Dominion and Covenant. What do you think it's going to be? It's Dominion. So Raiders v Dominion. I think this will be cool. We'll see the big differences between these two factions. And really what it comes down to is how effective can Raiders harass Dominion? Dominion is so defensively focused. So, I mean, you can look at it two ways. How well can the Raiders effectively harass Dominion? And how effectively can Dominion shut down the Raiders from their cloaked dropships and their vulture run-bys with spider mines, things like that? That's what it's really going to come down to. We've seen kerocero play some really effective Dominion in the past 2 games. Or in the past round where I casted him, he played 2 games, where he got Dominion twice. Scaphism, on the other hand, we've seen perform well with many different races. He has not played for a while, though. I believe it's been a couple weeks since he's played. So, again, though, he is reigning champ, and no one can take that away from him no matter what happens in this tournament. So good on him. He took down winner StarCraft. That is definitely a feat in it itself. So here comes the Morve coming in from kerocero to scout. That also gives away to Scaphism what race, what sub-faction his opponent is going to have. And as we sit and wait through the first couple minutes of nothing happening, we can kind of speculate what these players are going to do. I expect Scaphism to probably be setting up a lot of Crucio tanks around his base. And that's the thing as Dominion, if you're feeling comfortable with your economy, it really couldn't hurt to set up one Crucio tank at like each of your expansions. Because when your opponent comes in with a large harassing group and they see that one Crucio blast, they don't know what to expect and they might back out right away. I mean, granted, you're playing Raiders. Raiders might just scan to see what's really there, but those Crucio tanks hurt. They do so much damage that you can just psychologically frighten your opponent away from harassing your expansions because of how good those tanks are. The question is, what is Scaphism going to go for? It looks like he's going a fast factory, most likely for some Cerberus harass. That's a very good Dominion opening, and that's pretty much their main harassing unit, I think. Especially early mid-game, you see a lot of these Cerberus, and they can become pretty viable late game. They're never, ever good against armored, though. They never, with no amount of upgrades, will they become good against armored, but they're great against bio units. So when you see this, just these Raiders come out like Raiders medics, those Cerberus will just tear them up. So the question is, can Scaphism get out enough to get by this bunker? And here's kerocero throwing down his bunkers, similar to what we've seen in the past. Throwing down his Morb where he's vision. You can't drop Morbs in random places where you don't have vision. So dropping down another one to scout it out and throwing down his bunker. We've seen kerocero do this in 2 other games as Terran. Granted, the Dominion bunkers have 450 health, so that's like a straight up 50% increase over the Raiders bunkers, but still, it can help with those run-bys. If you get enough Marines in this, it might be able to shut down the Cerberus run-bys. And in fact, here's Scaphism. He's getting a starport too, so what we might actually see rather than a run-by is getting some Cerberus drop play, which will be pretty cool to see. You can load up extra units inside of these dropships. He probably will be able to get 3 or even 4 Cerberus out to throw into this dropship before the dropship even finishes created. It's medevacs, excuse me. Raiders has dropships. They're just dropships, they're not medevacs, but you can research them to cloak, which is so cool. All right, so one small thing. I don't know, it seems like all the other stuff that's being built is proper, but in the production tab, it looked like the Cerberus are still marked as Hellions. I'm not sure how that works. Anyway, never mind, no drops. No Cerberus drops, instead using burn gas to get across the map very, very fast. Pretty short cooldown, but keep in mind, you can't shoot. You can't shoot when you have burn gas on, so you just burn gas and just run by really, really fast. Cerberus also, they used to be able to shoot while moving. Really, really good unit, and since been slightly nerfed. Seeing that bunker there, I think he must have spotted that. Yeah, he spotted the bunker there, instead leaving the Cerberus back here, possibly just to hang out to see if a Bioforce comes out from kerocero. Kerocero, though, this time going a 1-1-1 build, not just straight bio like we saw him do against Golden Creeper. Getting two Vultures out, and finishing up his starport and switching his add-on so he can get a Tech Lab, or Tech Reactor rather, on his starport. And here comes the drop. We have one Cerberus. Didn't quite get picked up. Poor Cerberus, he really wants to be up there. There we go. And the Cerberus now dropping, and what does he have in here? He has 2 Vultures. Kerocero, oh no. He has 4 Marines and 2 Vultures. Will it be enough to hold on against this? And he doesn't have the Ibex cannons, and those Cerberus may be enough. They might just be enough. We'll see. Mass repairing. Oh, wow. He's using his... I thought he was trying to surround the Cerberus. So many workers. Just went down 14 workers. And using burn gas to just... Oh, good lift right there. The worker count, though, that's huge. 14 workers going down. Oh, no. Can these Marines hold on against these remaining Cerberus as Scaphism loads on up? We do have a Banshee out, and that's what Kerocero is going for. He's going for a fast Banshee, but unfortunately he lost so many units. Kerocero losing so many units. Look how slow these Banshees are. You have to upgrade them to go significantly faster. There it is, the Hyperflight Rotors. So they're going to slowly make their way across the map, and I don't think Scaphism has any anti-air, and did he see the Banshee? I don't think Scaphism caught wind of these Banshees, and he has no missile turrets, so they have an engineering bay out. There's the engineering bay. This might not be done in time to save him against these Banshees, but again, look how slow these are. Here are the Crucio siege tanks. He doesn't have siege mode done yet, nor is he even researching it, but that could make a big difference for sure once that's done. 2 more Dominion factories coming out. Meanwhile, we have Cloak coming up from Kerocero as he frantically tries to rebuild his workers, I assume. And really, really good early harass from Scaphism, but Kerocero now coming back to pay back in kind. Does he realize this missile turret is here? He's probably working on his macro right now as these guys are here, but this missile turret's going to finish and cause serious problems for him. Oh, I don't think he's looking. No, he is looking. Oh, it didn't finish in time. The missile turret now goes down, and it has those missile pods, and that was kind of a big boo-boo there. For Kerocero, as I think he was probably macroing while those turrets were going down. Try to pick off some of these tanks. You can tell how slow these tanks can move. And, oh, the missile pods are going to take out both these Banshees. 1 goes down, 2 goes down. Meanwhile, Kerocero parking some Marines down here in case there's another drop. And we have 2 more Banshees coming out. And those Banshees were a good response, but unfortunately that missile turret finished. I think he was probably macroing, and by the time I switched to his player perspective, he was already looking up here, and that's when he realized, oh shit, there's a turret that's pretty much done. So someone in the chat's asking, why are the Banshees so slow? I can only speculate, and Summerloud I think is in a game right now against Wildcard, but I can only speculate he would say that all the harassment units in HeptaCraft are balanced in a significant way. They can be very good in one way, but are severely hamstrung in others. All right, so we have a Viking out from Scaphism to stop these Banshees. He knows that there's Banshees on the field, and Kerocero actually stuck to the Banshee build, and instead now going Hyperflight Rotors, really committing to Banshees. I'm curious to know if he's going to get even more. There it is. Curious to know. And here comes a few Marines to scramble out here to push away that Viking. Meanwhile, we've got, well, that's the Hyperflight Rotors, actually, and we have Spider Mines. Spider Mine research from Kerocero. We have a really significant anti-ground force here from Scaphism, but by the time it hauls its slow ass across the map, who knows what Kerocero is going to get out in time. No units except 1 Vulture being built, though, from Kerocero. If this group got across the map, that could spell doom, but there are 2 Banshees out here, and they'll have Hyperflight Rotors and Cloaks, so they'll be able to react to this stuff. There is no scan on Planetary Fortress, and without medics, you have no mobile detection for Dominion. So Cloak Banshees actually could really save Kerocero if we see an offensive engagement by Scaphism here at any time. We'll see, we have one nice little Arclight siege tank covering the high ground here. Granted, the Viking will be able to see up there. I think Scaphism is just toying with the idea of going out, grabbing a couple SCVs to repair, and now moving out. And what's he got building here? More Cerberus, another Viking, and more Crucio. Oh, now Siege Tech. He was waiting for Siege Tech to get significantly closer to finishing before moving across the map, I suspect. Lots of Spider Mines, though. And this is going to be a big issue for Scaphism unless he gets some medics out with that mobile detection or a science vessel. Actually, I think Dominion gets Ravens and Raiders get science vessels, I think. This is a significant amount of Vultures, though, and they've emptied their load of Spider Mines. 8 Vultures moving across the map. They're still pretty fast, even without their speed upgrade. What do we have here? Ion Thrusters, which is their speed upgrade. And, using missile turrets. Oh, big Spider Mines, taking out 2 Cerberus right there, and he's building missile turrets in his wake to check for the Spider Mines. And meanwhile, we've got the Vulture run by. The Cerberus doing their best. This is like an anti-light versus anti-light composition. And the Cerberus able to hold down. Those Vultures actually lined up perfectly on that ramp and allowed allowed Scaphism to take that out. Meanwhile, we have the slow push. We have the slow push here from Scaphism, and that's what Dominion, that's what you gotta do. Slow, slow, slow push. And there's the Crucio siege tanks now able to siege up, and they're able to are they able to outrange 13, 15? So the Crucio siege tanks have a longer range and do way more damage, but the Arclight siege tanks can move a little bit faster. They're slightly more mobile. With the Vikings able to spot, and this is how you put pressure on as Dominion. This is crazy. Meanwhile, I have a huge group of Cerberus coming up. Not huge, but it's large enough to defend against this. Another Spider Mine, though, taking stuff out. The Cerberus getting close to the Arclight siege tanks, and Scaphism just bleeding his opponent dry with the slow Crucio push. And you know what? This really personifies Dominion on the offensive. This is what you got to do. You got to choke your opponent in, and this is really all you can do. I mean, the Cerberus trying to run by, getting wiped out. There weren't really many SCVs there to begin with. These Arclight tanks, though, if they're, I mean, he might be able to hold off here. It's just these turrets. He's placing these turrets for that detection. These Banshees can't get in to take out these siege tanks. And the Wraiths actually might be able to take out the Vikings, which would be a huge help. The Wraiths now peeking away here. Gonna try to possibly get rid of the building SCV, not quite. And there's still this other missile turret, so he's just creeping forward with turrets. This is just... I mean, I feel like we've all been here in vanilla. Even in vanilla, we've all been here where you're completely just stuck inside your base because a Terran player is doing something like this to you. So really good pickoffs there, getting rid of both Vikings, able to move his Arclights up and start getting rid of these groups of units. This is huge. No air to spot from Scaphism allows kerocero to push back against this. And what is allowing Scaphism to see up here right now? What is allowing Scaphism to see up the ramp? Maybe the medics? With the launch flare? Gives vision. Yeah, so it's the medics. The medics are giving him vision up the ramps. And there's the Cloaked Banshees again. And the range on these turrets to be able to see cloaked units is just too high. And here's the Cloaked Banshee doing its best to get rid of the tanks. And Scaphism is just unrelenting here, constantly rallying up more and more mech units. More and more mech units. And these Arclight tanks, not Arclight tanks, the Crucio tanks are pretty low on health. One more Viking here, though. Two more Vikings, three more Vikings. Scaphism doesn't look like he's necessarily teching into anything else. He's actually supply blocked right now. He's just sticking with this build. He's keeping the pressure on, running the Cerberus by over here into the natural expansion to stop kerocero from saturating it, and kerocero having to call GG right there. Really well played by Scaphism. Again, I feel like that's how Dominion... That's how you go on the offensive with Dominion. Really well played, though, by both players, and it was great to see a Terran v Terran matchup of both sub-factions.